So the punchline of this video is BSV soars the moment that you guys stop debating whether or not Craig Wright is Satoshi. It doesn't matter. I'm going to give you a for instance about what I'm saying. Hopefully you understand this. Let's say that somebody says the amusement park is closed on Sunday, and you take that as a truth. And then you say, well, I want to go to the amusement park. And then you start debating what day your dad is coming home. Is your dad coming home from vacation, from his business trip? Let's just say, is he going to be back by Saturday? Or is he going to not be home until Monday? Okay? Or Sunday, whatever it is. The point is, if he's not back till Sunday and it's closed on Sunday, you can't go on Sunday, right? But if he's back before Saturday, you say, well, we can go on Saturday. So now you're getting this big debate about whether or not your dad's going to be home on Saturday or Sunday, Saturday or Sunday. And then somebody else quietly walks in the room and is like, the amusement park isn't closed on Sunday, guys. Shut up. That's not what we're debating. We want to know, is dad going to be home on Saturday or Sunday? And you sit there and fucking debate it for eternity, but it doesn't matter. Such is true for whether or not Craig Wright is the creator of Bitcoin, whether or not Craig Wright is Satoshi. It doesn't fucking matter if he's not. Here's what matters, guys. Bitcoin is this technology that undergoes hard forks. And every time that there's been a hard fork to become further away from Satoshi's original vision or stay closer to Satoshi's original vision, first you had Bitcoin Cash stayed closer to Satoshi's original vision. Then when Bitcoin Cash and BSV split, BSV stayed closer to Satoshi's original vision. So if you were to plot this, okay, you got a V. So you got a V, and then where my index finger is, we're going to go to that V. Okay? So you got two channels going this way, and you got another channel going this way. Okay? Meanwhile, Bitcoin, the original channel, the BTC, okay, they went this way. Now it's about to fork. Knots is over here. Okay? Core is going this way. Another punchline in this video. There is no way that Bitcoin Core 30 or whatever the hell it's called wins in the long haul. Why? Because if people decided that Bitcoin 30 is the way to go, and then we get hit with these, laws, the Clarity Act and all this stuff comes to fruition, then when everybody starts debating the fork that just happened, and if Bitcoin 30 wins the fork, which I think could happen, Bitcoin Knots might win the fork. I don't know. But the point is, maybe they both stay equally strong. Okay. And it's like everybody doubles their money who's involved in BTC right now, which is why I think it's holding strong for now. But I think after the split, it's going to fall. Okay. Both of them are going to fall after the split because everybody wants to get their double coins and everybody's going to sell. Anybody who's smart, in my opinion, is going to sell because they know everybody else who's smart is going to sell. So Bitcoin, both of them are about to come down in price, okay? Then one of them is going to emerge as the winner. One of them is going to take off. Again, let's say it's Core 30, okay? So the Core 30 fork, let's say it wins. Eventually, with this Clarity Act stuff, when people try to say, does this have anything to do with this and this? If they say, well, you know what? Core 30 is an awful lot like Bitcoin Cash, and it's an awful like BSV, and BSV and Bitcoin Cash, they existed long before Core 30. So, guys, I think that if we're going to choose which one's more authentic, it's going to be over here at BSV. And what this whole fork is going to educate people about is forks. There hasn't been a fork since, 2018 on Bitcoin, 2019, something like that. So if there hasn't been a fork in a while, most of the people that are coming into forks, into Bitcoin now, are just new to forks. They don't know about it. So once they get educated about forks, and once they get educated about the Clarity Act and all this other stuff, they're going to go back and they're going to say, oh, BSV's the winner. The other one that I think is going to do well is this World Liberty. All the ones that tanked the most today, I think are going to succeed. They're going to fly now. It was an opportunity for people to get in. Anyway, what do you call it here? So now, meanwhile, let's say that Knots wins and people go towards Knots. That means, again, Bitcoin Core 30 is going to need to go below value of what BSV currently is. Logically speaking, if you're going to sit there and say, well, Bitcoin Core 30 is a good utility, okay, well, BSV's existed longer, and so has Bitcoin Cash. They've both existed longer. So the Clarity Act, again, is still going to make Core 30 trouble. It's going to be trouble for Core 30. So in my opinion, Knots is going to win. It has to. For the people invested in it in New York, like Saylor and the Facebook twins and all these different people, and JP Morgan and BlackRock and all these different people, for BTC to continue to gain strength, it had to have Knots happen. Has to have Knots. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what my crystal ball says. Because that's the only way they can argue that they're superior, is if that is the chosen superior way. And that would therefore further bury Bitcoin Cash and BSV, because Knots would be like, okay, the public got to choose and the public chose Knots. Now, here's the interesting thing. The public, for the first time, isn't the one choosing. There's an article about how ETFs are going to be the choosers. I'll put it in the link in the description below and in the comments. So they're already priming everybody that BlackRock and Grayscale and all these guys, they're the ones who are going to get to choose, because they have the most purchasing power about which one wins and which one loses. So they're going to get to choose. So in my opinion, it's advantageous for them to choose Knots, because if they don't choose Knots, they're choosing BSV in the long haul. Do you understand? That's all I got. We're going to keep it short and sweet. No other YouTubers are talking about this stuff, guys. No other internet publicist is talking about this stuff. Nobody's as sharp. They're all arguing about whether or not Craig Wright is Satoshi. It doesn't fucking matter if he is or not. He can prove that he's Satoshi anytime he wants by moving those wallets around. He says, okay, I'm going to do this at 3 p.m. next week on Tuesday. And then 3 p.m. next week on Tuesday, everything moves. That's all he has to do. Stop feeling so, oh, Craig Wright's a martyr. He's the real guy and he just can't seem to prove it. He can prove it anytime he fucking wants to. Quit with the fucking bullshit little girl games. Like, how fucking stupid are you guys? How fucking dumb are you guys? He's a victim. He's worth billions of dollars and it's too difficult for him to move the money from here to there because it's in a trust and he can't do it. He can't do it. Are you guys fucking stupid? Anyway, even if it's in a trust, he can say this amount's going to get withdrawn, because that's the way trusts work, is they pay out every X amount of time. He can tell you what the schedule is for the payout, and he can say, next week, Tuesday, there's going to be $10,000 worth of Bitcoin paid out of this cold wallet, or, out of this cold wallet, it's going to get moved to the exchange, and that's going to be sold. Watch it happen. Poof. I'm the trustee. I'm Satoshi. Okay, he can prove it anytime he wants. It doesn't fucking matter whether he's the person or not. What matters is Bitcoin was created by somebody. We don't give a fuck who it was. And every fork of the way, it has gone towards Satoshi, the secret person's original white paper. And that's called BSV. That's all that fucking matters. Bitcoin Core is more like BSV than Bitcoin Knots. So if we're going to come back this way, that means BSV was the original winner. It already took a right a long time ago. It's like sailing. We already went around the buoy over here. And you're just now going around the buoy? No, you're later to go around the buoy. You are losing the race. It's very simple, guys. That's why I think they're going to have it where Knots wins. And if they have it where Core wins, in my opinion, BSV is absolutely going to win. If Knots wins, BSV will, when I said if Core wins, BSV is going to ultimately win. It might be 2 years from now, might be 10 years from now, but it's ultimately going to win. If Knots wins, that could squash BSV and Bitcoin Cash, because if Knots wins, they say, oh, the public voted nowadays and they want this, and therefore all of these are obsolete over here. And that's why I think that's what they're going to do. That's why I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to have Knots win. I think that the ETFs, BlackRock and Grayscale, have Knots win. See ya.